Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here and getting ready to cast the BTS SCA Cup #1. We'll be doing 6 of them over the next year or so. So lots more Dota come your way. I'm LD. Gods has gone to bed. He's a bum. But I am joined here by WinteR, my brother from another mother, hailing from Malaysia. WinteR, you with me?
Our friend is not at bed. He's playing a pub.
Yeah. Hey, he's got to get his MMR up, man. He was at 6K. He got a little lazy. He's plummeted, but he's slowly climbing back. So,
No, you're the lazy one. You're not getting your 6K.
yeah, I'm not supposed to, man. I'm the play-by-play guy. I don't want to step on your toes as the analyst.
Kappa.
All right. Well, no, I am overdue to start grinding my own MMR. You are right, WinteR. When you come here, you will train me
Soon.
soon.
You
Okay.
better keep your promise because I remember the last time when I came, you were like, nah, I'm gonna watch some soap opera. Nah, I'm gonna play Mafia. Nah, I got something else to do. So,
Okay, that was during DAC though. DAC was long days, to be fair.
okay. I accept I accept that reason.
You accept this excuse. All right. I'm glad I found one that works on you. So, draft's underway now. It's iDeal versus Execration, and which I have to say, coming into this match, that Execration are on a really big tear. I know God said that he feels that Execration are favored in the matchup.
I didn't get to see them play much, but I know they won a LAN recently in Philippines. But that was with their old roster. Their new roster is like with Airway again, if you remember him from the old like last year, I guess, or earlier in the year. But he left the team and he's rejoined the team now.
Yeah, a bit of a shuffle, Rooney. It seems to be just the way things go nowadays in the world of Dota 2. So, okay,
He's
what?
one of the most solid offlaners in the land of the Pinoys.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you there. So, draft looking pretty standard here. I guess worth mentioning the Earthshaker getting banned first phase. That's a bit unusual. This is, of course, a classic hero for Iwi. Used to be really well known for it. Is he Bird in this game? I'm not sure.
Yes, the
Yeah, he's
second one is him, Burden.
okay. Stop changing your names, guys. You're killing me. But of course, with the Iwi Shaker ban, they'll go for something else. So they get the Spirit Breaker. They already have a gyrocopter, and into that gyro, iDeal will pick a Wyvern. So now we get into the second stage, WinteR. What are your thoughts on the draft so far?
Very unconventional. It's not something we are used to see, but every game is different. Both every team prioritize different stuff, so it's sort of like every game has their own meta. I definitely like the Bounty Hunter more. I think Bounty
It's
Hunter is
hard
very
not to
strong.
like him. He just
He's
does
very
everything.
strong. He's very strong in the current meta, and even though there's gyrocopter, but I think the Southeast Asian teams they don't really utilize gyro as well as maybe the Chinese teams or the Western teams, and they are very prone to making mistakes. So it's always good to have bounty on your side when that happens.
Yeah, the Spirit Breaker to me is interesting. I remember at TI that EG ran this. The Spirit Breaker
Against
tree
bounty.
was their like bounty counter. Do you
Yeah.
do you feel that it's really a counter to the bounty hunter, or do you,
Yeah, I
so
think
so
it's
you
really
like
good.
that then? You like that pick?
Yeah, they had the Enchantress off lane even against the bounty hunter with the Treant living armor. So basically, they built a lineup which cannot be killed, and we mentioned about when bounty hunter doesn't get kills, he's like not very useful in the game. And what Execration have right now is very similar to what CDAC would draft. Spiritbreaker Undying offlane, Gyrocopter plus one support, and typical middle lane hero with like Queen of Pain or Leshok, but they're all banned. But there's still TA, which they like to pick a lot with their current lineup. So it's very similar to what CDAC runs in general.
Storm Spirit.
Storm Spirit now for iDeal. Not a whole lot of lockdown. Just the cow for now, WinteR, to try and keep him in
17%
place.
of the time you can count on him, but apparently not. It's more like 71% of the time you can count on him.
Yeah, it's just one of those heroes, man. You do not want to play against him. That's
You're
for
like,
sure.
okay, they have only the cow to stun me, but then when it happens, you're like, okay, that just happened.
Yeah, still though, that's it. All it is Spirit Breaker. Undying gives you no control. But they are kind of this run at you lineup. It feels like where they really want to
Yeah,
be diving a lot early.
I like the response
10 seconds
going for
remaining.
against what iDeal have. iDeal have Bounty Storm. They are very good pickoff and
5
Wyvern to actually
seconds
stall things with
remaining.
the Splinter Blast. And Execration have chosen to go for a 5-man lineup
Reserve
with the
time.
Tombstone plus a Mech Carrier, Shadow Fiend. So they are they want to avoid getting picked off by the Storm and the Track. So I like the idea they are going for here against the Bounty.
By the way, WinteR, I don't know if you already did, but I'm just going to remind you in case. Make sure you turn on your microphone for the lovely viewers in Dota TV.
No, I didn't.
Radiant
Okay.
team
I
pick.
And
did.
for those who
Just
are
kidding, I
wondering,
did.
oh, you did. All right. Good job, buddy. For those who are wondering, I know we've had some questions. Is there a ticket? How can I watch the event in Dota TV? Right now, there's not a ticket, guys, but we're planning on having one ticket for all the cups. So for the whole BTS series, we're hoping it will be a cheap one. Ultimately, Valve decides, but we'd like to do like one ticket for like $2 to $3, and you get all 18 cups. So everybody can enjoy in Dota TV. For now, there's not one. I'm not sure if it's on another ticket. I'm not actually the one hosting the games, but there will be for future cups. Is the short answer. So anyway, Clockwork comes out now, and iDeal
10
pretty
seconds
gank heavy.
remaining.
WinteR. They don't really have much in the way of like a team fight here or
5
any sort
Don't
of
really-
AoE
remaining.
control.
I don't really like the Clockwork that much because he doesn't really help them. I mean,
Reserve
it kind of
time.
synergizes well with them wanting to split push and catch someone alone, so you can actually catch with hookshot. But I feel like it doesn't provide so much in D push. They need more D push right now. When the 5-man comes, you want spells that can actually take out the creep wave.
Pick.
Ah, the rat. They go
I'm worried
PL.
for them though. I'm worried for them though. They don't really feel like they have enough tools to actually rat it out.
This feels kind of greedy, doesn't it? Like Bounty
it's
Hunter,
very
Storm, and PL all on one team.
Wait, who's the? Okay, wait, never mind. I was thinking about how are they gonna run their lane. So it's just gonna be the typical bounty clock lane. Maybe bounty is like freestyle. He's gonna be everywhere, and Phantom Lancer, Wyvern. It's going. I think Phantom Lancer plus Wyvern is gonna have a lot of trouble with Undying and Spirit Breaker.
Is there anything that they could do with the lanes to kind of avoid that problem, or do you feel like no matter how they lane it, they're just gonna have issues?
Yesterday we saw a team. Who was the team that did? It was the Pinoy team. Wait, what was their name? TNC. They did PL solo mid to avoid a tough lane. But this game, I'm not sure though, because if you put PL solo mid, Storm would be there to suffer the wrath of the Undying and Spirit Breaker.
All right. Well, let's see what the lanes are. For now, it does look like the Storm likely headed to the mid lane here. Gets the early null tally, the branches, and your PL with the Rain of Protection. Seems he will be headed to the side lane. We get underway. It's a best of 3 elimination match here, folks, in the Summit 3. Of course, I'm LD. He's WinteR. We'll be bringing you this next series. And already, iDeal. They're quick to get out of the gates. Execration, they were a bit asleep at the wheel, only now leaving their base and heading out into the woods. So already the ward dropped down. Did TP for this early WinteR. So KYT should have a lot of vision and a good start here in the off lane.
They have the numbers here, and the ward spotted out exactly how many heroes are there.
So they know. Noki moving in deep. It seems he may want to ward up the Shadow Fiend's jungle, block some of these camps. Potentially. Could be a very powerful way to slow down his economy early on.
I actually
30
don't really like
seconds to
blocking right now. I actually prefer not to block it and just have vision, so you can come and kill him and potentially steal it. I think that's like a much bigger advantage compared to just alone blocking it.
So you prefer like a ward that gives you vision but doesn't actually block the
Yeah,
camp
because
then?
if you block it, they know it and they just devour it. So
Toy
Yeah.
is taking some harass here. They're charging him. Fox is going to go in with the concussive shot. This could be the first blood already. iDeal. A lot of trouble here for Toy. Not a whole lot of help for him. And Toy off to a rough start as the Storm Spirit will end up going down in the end. First blood to your Shadow Fiend, Nando. Already. That's his bottle off the bat.
yeah, at least he didn't get the first blood with the Necromastery. Otherwise,
Yeah. I guess that's pretty unlikely because generally if you're going to get the first blood, you get the raises right away. But it could only get worse. Like you're saying, there's always a silver lining here, but it's not much of one for iDeal.
yeah, and the bounty is doing the right thing because he knows the Shadow Fiend got a lot of gold, and okay, he's probably gonna get it. He needs to use his second
And,
Shadow Wall.
oh, this
They
is
saw
where
it, they
this is
saw
where
it.
the support normally goes to get it though. Normally they ferry it, but
They
it
saw
doesn't.
it. I saw the purple guy pink. he
Oh,
pinged
that
it.
should not happen. Just a freebie here.
He was pinging the bounty hunter's position, and it still happened. Nah.
And they even had the support there. And normally that's where Fox would just walk back
Yeah,
to ferry the bottle.
it's just like even though it's uncertainty that the bounty is there, you should always like play safe all the time. The support doesn't. You don't have the nuke, the arcane bolt at level 1 since you had to take the slow to get the first bird. So it's better off him just going over there to make sure that the bottle gets to the Shadow Fiend.
For now, Primo in the dual lane off lane, the Spirit Breaker Undying.
This
Talk
is
to me a
tough.
bit about this lane, WinteR. Do you think iDeal can handle the bruisers, or are they just going to have to play very defensively?
This lane is very rough for the PL. They need the bounty hunter to come and at least tip the balance of the lane. I think once they hit level 2 on the Undying and the Spirit Breaker, they can just kill the Wyvern. The Undying is going to be level 2 very soon.
Yeah, the Tombstone about to come out now. The lane is pushing a bit, though. They're going to try to take advantage of this. They know Chemo doesn't actually have the Tombstone yet. They've seen the decays being used. They will harass him back a bit. Holding the Lance, though, on TNT. Not enough damage.
Everyone's starting to do this more, though, getting Pullman Shoe on Spirit Breaker. It's very effective on the hero.
He's so tanky already. This makes him just unkillable. He's going into TNT with like 8 creeps here, 3 range creeps, and he's barely even taking damage.
Man, he just got 3 bash procs. He bashed like 2 creeps to get last hits and he bashed the hero.
Well, looking at bottom lane. Mr. Iwi, or Burden as he's now calling himself.
He's not playing
pinged
off
out by
lane,
Noki.
right?
Tough kill though.
He's actually playing the carry on the team. Huh.
Yeah, it's he's played it the last few games. It seems it's just a new way they want to arrange their heroes. As Burden getting dived a bit, but I don't know if this is the dive you want. He's going to turn with the Rocket Barrage. Backing off at exactly the right moment. KYT will play it safe. And Noki ends up unsuccessful on that first move.
The bounty is just being very pesky right now. The Skyroth is just trying to make sure that he's following the bounty, but Skyroth is like not one of the better supports to deal with bounty. You don't have armor, so you can't really trade blows against the bounty if he finds you. But they're gonna maybe get a kill on the gyro here.
Denied.
Looks like they also want to make a go on top, perhaps. Primo walking in with Chemo. The bros here, top lane. No, not ready just yet. Are they trying for this again? You're right, WinteR. They are. In they go. They're tanking the Rocket Barrage between both of them, and it's not enough damage. It looks Iwi will be caught out and finished off. One more auto attack secures the kill. Very nice
They can't leave
takedown
him.
there.
They can't leave him alone though. At least they need to give him a sentry for the lane. They can't just leave him like this.
It doesn't even seem like it's really worth it right now. The Shadow Fiend mid still getting outfarmed by Storm despite the dual lane,
And Shadowfiend got the first bird at the start, so I don't think he actually needs so much attention from the Skyroth. He can't just ditch the gyro alone now. I think he needs help. They need to at least secure the lane for the gyro. The SF can catch up.
yeah. Oh, while that was looking top, the action comes in mid. They did manage to kill off the Storm, so that makes it worth it. That's another kill. Nando getting the assist there. The last hit going to the Skywrath, and well, I guess that equalizes things a bit, WinteR. Overall, though, the farm is currently favoring the Dyers. All 3 other heroes, 15 CS. And here they go again, onto the gyro. Same old trick. They go in with the... Oh, not enough damage. KYT's overextended here. He could get punished by Rocket Barrage, but the Cogs push him back. Noki barely able to get away from the flag cannon in time. And while that's happening, there's also extra top where YO2 is being run down by a horde of zombies. TNT charging into that. Very dangerous, but he will make it out.
And they tried to kill the Spirit Breaker, but he was just way too tanky with the Fullman Shield. That is just really hard to watch. They threw everything at him, but they still couldn't kill him. And the Tombstone and the Undying just...
Oh, this bounty. He's brave, WinteR. He's brave. He's walking into a Radiant Sentry. He can turn and raise him. Nando's thinking about it here. Oh, he gets rid of the ward.
He got both the wards.
All right.
Well,
that was risky, though. That was very risky.
Welcome to Sea Dota, my friend.
Living life on the edge. Oh, back and forth game, WinteR, early on. We've got 4 kills. We've got a lot of action and movement around the map. Seems a very slight lead for Execration, but still very close early on.
They have much more of a timing to hit though with the mech on the Shadow Fiend, and iDeal just wants to play the game very slow. And I think the key thing is to get Bounty to level 6 and get Wyvern his levels as well, because Splinter Blast will be their primary tool in dealing with D push. Clockwork, he has 2 points in flare now, So he's going for a mixture of skills.
Oh, they're thinking about the go, but he was ready. Call down coming out. Noki's done for. Dead.
That was the sentry I was talking about. They need to give the gyro at least. If they want to leave him alone, they need to put a sentry in his lane.
It does show you how strong the gyro is against this composition early, though. Like they if he has a sentry, they cannot go on him, especially not now that he's level 6.
Yeah, he's just very hard to kill if he can see, if he can actually drop his spell first before the bounty hunter does anything. So now the lane is more or less secured for the gyro. He's gonna have his phase boots complete, and top lane, they are pressuring the PL, but he's still getting a lot of CSO. I'm quite surprised he still has 32 CS. 5 more than the gyro.
Yeah, so Shadow Fiend also farming well, as you would expect, and he started to pull ahead of Toy. The kill paid off. They do dive. Tombstone coming out on TNT. Only one zombie chasing him. The charge goes the other way onto the Wyvern, trying to pull him back into position. They're looking for the bashes back towards the Tombstone, but they're not getting them. Nukes out from Fox. He's still healthy. Hook's there. Holds Fox back. Doesn't actually mana for the Cogs yet. He's already used the stick. He may end up going down. KYT's low. No, it's Chemo who falls first. KYT survives this. The charge through. Hits 2 on the way. Where's the bash? 17%. 17%. He's not getting the bashes. KYT. What a hero. He cleans up all 3, and nobody drops in the end.
Well, that was so selfless by the Clockwork KYT. He just hook shot it even though he didn't have much HP and mana, and he just tanked for his team, and in the end it worked out for them and he didn't die. And they got the kills. 3 kills. Actually 2 kills, right? Did the Skyrock die?
Yeah, Skyrock died as well.
Oh, 3 kills. Yeah, they got all 3 kills.
They wiped they wiped all 3 heroes, and they didn't lose a single one. That is a bit of a disaster for Execration, and any lead they had, well, it's gone now. You know, it's interesting, because the one hero that we saw a lot at, well, CDEC's probably the perfect example, is the gyro would always rotate early, but we're not really seeing that so much from Iwi. He's just sitting bottom, and they're charging now. So they'll bring heroes onto his lane. We'll find a kill from Primo.
I think it was because he didn't have a very good start, so he was more reluctant to move, and he just wants to stay in the lane. I think if he had a good start, yes, he would actually just get ready to TP in another lanes.
Mando, he wants this. Hookshot off the mark. The Raze is going to connect. And now KYT will trap him. He goes in with the battery assault. There's no Requiem picked up yet. He may end up going down. This is a big death if Nando falls here after all the farm he's gotten. Low, and with the Splinter Blast, it's enough to finish him off. Now arriving is Iwi, driving KYT back, goes into the trees, but then no, Jukes, is he gonna make it out of here? The Cogs pushing it back, they end up getting Iwi one by one. The cores of Execration just charged to their demise.
Man, this Clockwork's the MVP for iDeal right now. He just
these are bad kills to be giving up if you're Execration.
He just bought enough time for his second Power Cogs to come off cooldown. That's so good.
And what a bait, WinteR, what a bait.
That was a really, it's still a really huge commitment though for the carry to dive so deep. He was so keen in getting that kill.
And now they can start getting aggressive in the jungle if they'd like. Noki almost level 6. He's on the prowl again. Looks like he wants to ward block the camp. He will see the stack if he drops it. Yeah, sentry's there. As the charge goes on to top. Primo on the prowl. Let's see if there's a really well-timed doppelganger here to dodge this incoming stun. TNT perfectly played now. The turn with the lance. Don't want to dive into that tombstone, I would think. They're bringing in more reinforcements here. Not going to go just yet. And it was 2 jungle camps, WinteR. They continue to either block these or at least get vision on them. So Noki really trying to slow down this economy.
But they didn't manage to steal any though, so SF still got all the farm from the camps. I don't think it's bothering him too much.
Yeah, and they let him stack it again as well before they rewarded, so like he said, doesn't really seem to be amounting to much.
And this PL is just getting, I think he's getting way too much from his lane though. I'm quite surprised he got so much farm. And Nando's gonna get hookshot again.
Found out by KYT in the river. There's no way to really counter these Cogs. They don't have the defensive supports here. Undying not in position, and again he's going to go down. This Shadow Fiend now basically neck and neck with the PL, and that's despite getting the jungle stacks, despite the first blood, and despite a 23 last hit advantage. Costly kills.
Yeah, this is really bad. Now the track is going to come online very soon, and if they give away kills, after that, it's going to be even worse. And Skyrock
all in. Easy solo kill onto Fox. So squishy.
Thanks to the ward and double damage on the Storm.
This is where Storm starts to have fun as well.
You say Storm starts to have fun. This is where the a support like Skyros stops having fun.
Well, I don't play support, WinteR, so for me, I'm only thinking about how I would be feeling this game.
So you're a person that don't appreciate your supports. I get it.
No, I appreciate my supports.
I'm not buying
I
wards for you.
appreciate them.
I'm
I
not
just don't
buying
play it.
smoke. I'm not buying salve for you.
You don't play support anyway. When we pub,
I do.
No, you don't. No, you always play greedy, selfish. Even when you're like a bat rider, you'll farm for yourself all game because you don't trust the team. Like LD Bobo. LD Bobo.
Yeah, you're Bobo.
No, you're Bobo. Alright, they're pushing. They're moving on the tower mid. Execration taking some harass. The Splinter Blast you mentioned, really their main D-push tool. This Chemo gets caught out by, well, WinteR's curse, but is this going to get him in time? The Tombstone was deployed. Calldown coming through, connecting on two already. He's taking a hell of a lot of damage, though. They hook in. They're committing to this. They've got the track out on two heroes, but no tracked heroes have fallen yet. Then the ball lightning into a Skyrath Mage ultimate, but he's just going to jump himself out of this and easily dealt with. Primo charging, arriving late to the fight. In and out they go, popping the sticks, trying to hang on. Nando with the raises, not enough. He goes down. The Death Requiem isn't going to secure any kills. Now Primo forced back. This Spirit Breaker needs to get the hell out. He charges past three, but that last Wyvern auto attack is going to do him in. Run, cow. Run, cow. Run, cow. Run. He's dead. No, he lives. He barely survives.
One man shield.
Oh, man. That was pretty funny.
Man,
But still a terrible fight for Execration.
How many heroes would have survived that ordeal? Only Spirit Breaker would have survived that. Man, this hero.
I feel like if that's any other hero, he just dies.
Oh, he died. He died to the rocket. Okay.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got sniped.
Nice snipe there. Oh, completely airballed that one, my friend. I am new.
I know it's late for you, so you're excused.
No excuses. No excuses. They have a hook shot ready. 1 second. Could they get the Skyrath? KYT searching for it, but he will make it out in the end.
He's going to struggle, the Skyrath this game. Blade Man's going to come up. Everything iDeal have is just very bad against... it's very bad for Skyrath to deal with.
Really feels like iDeal starting to get control of this game now. They get eyes on Nando top lane. Noki may try to make a go on him. They get the Lance out. Raze comes forth, and he's just going to continue going through this, but they do have the charge to try and counter-initiate Raze. And the Nether Strike flashing TNT back. Where's that 17%? Give this man a bash. Give him a bash.
He
No
didn't
bash.
land the race.
No bash. No bash
Then he
at
missed
all.
the second race. That's fine.
He'll be forced back in the end. Instead, charging the other direction. Hunting on to YO2. There's nice Skyrath Mage ultimate. We'll secure the kill. They got off the curse. Then the Tombstone gets dropped. Primo kept alive during this time, and this could be a good call down. Everybody retreating out. TNT barely surviving. Almost dead to that flat cannon auto attack. Raises continue to mount as Nando presses and very aggressive Shadow Fiend. And he continues to charge forward. Just so tanky, so difficult to deal with. The cogs, not enough. He goes right through them as they appear. They hadn't actually sprung fully into existence yet. He'll get the kill there too. And barely surviving, limping back as TNT. A nice turn of events there for Execration.
I do have to be very careful though, even though they have a slight kill lead, but what XCTN have right now, the lineup they have is very strong at taking team fights. They have to be very careful of taking 5v5 engage.
Oh, Toy trapped out on the river. There is dust. But he's not going to go for it.
Okay, he has soaring off cooldown, so he should have been fine there. I don't think they could have gotten the kill.
Nando does have the completed mech now as well. And, well,
Wow,
that Shuriken, maybe it's the real deep push. They charge in pretty deep. Primo baiting out a TP and then getting the hell away. It's basically 8v8 mid, WinteR. This is, or 4v4 mid, I should say. 8 heroes mid total. It's a very cluttered lane currently.
And looking at the vision, right now Execration have very good vision, so they just need to use this info they're getting from the vision to get a tower. Their lineup should really get some towers. They have the mech on the Shadow Fiend and level 4 Tombstone. This is where they are very strong.
To throw a track out here onto Nando. But like you said, he's a tanky one now that the mech's complete. So iDeal might slow this game down a little bit. Looks like TNT going to start farming the enemy jungle. He does go for the aggressive build. The drums, Aquila, Tread is very tanky, combat-oriented. No boots of travel or Yasha pickup here. Seems he wants to fight.
Don't you like fighting?
I'm not complaining, man. 20 kills in 15 minutes. This is good stuff. I missed my SEA Dota.
So the best thing to do is to come to SEA, you know.
Oh, you know, maybe I'll be there soon, WinteR. We'll see.
That's what you've been saying for like, okay, I'm not gonna reveal how long you've
This
been
time
saying.
will be different, my friend. This time will be different. I promise. Tower is getting siege mid, though. Shadow Fiend going to work there as bottom lane, the charge comes out onto TNT. They're going to clear out these illusions, even using a rocket barrage for it. The charge might be able to secure a kill. Will he dodge it with the doppelganger? Perfectly played once again by TNT. Even with another strike, not sure if they've got the damage. They will commit for this. All the while, there's action breaking on the mid lane. Custom shot, as well as those outs. Even the Mystic Flare committed. They will finally get the kill. And meanwhile, 2v4ing the Shadow Fiend. And Undying might be able to turn this completely on its head. Nando with the raise gets one. He wants a second. Storm trying to run away. Suddenly, Gyrocopter appears mid. Charge on the YO2. Diving for Toy. I think he makes it out of here. The zombies saying no. They're just rushing after him. But the Wyvern will fall, and we'll clean up the zombies. Ends up being a 3-for-1.
Yeah, I told you how strong they are. The two heroes alone. The Shadow Fiend plus the Undying.
2v4.
They took two heroes with them and losing the Undying in it as exchange for that.
It does go to what we talked about a bit. It feels like iDeal just not very strong in the 5v5 clashes.
Yeah, they have to split push and just buy time. That's why I felt like Clockwork is not a hero that can de-push so much. I mean, you can buy time by getting kills, but if the enemy is grouping up, then you lose a lot of effectiveness. But we'll see whether he gets a lot of pickoffs this game. He might still be able to buy a lot of time with if he gets a couple of key kills for his team.
They do have the Phantom Lancer, and he continues to push these lanes out. Storm actually the leader in net worth. Toy going for his Bloodstone. Picked up the point booster, completed Soul Booster on its way. They're still farming these cores, and they do have track gold. Always a concern if you're in Execration shoes here, WinteR.
They haven't been getting much of track goals recently. The last few kills, the last few kills all went to Execration, so it's been a while since they got a kill, apart from the middle one. They didn't get too many track kills, I feel.
It's always like dangerous to talk about that though, because I feel like that's where the commentator's curse comes into play. You say that they're gonna win a fight, get 3 track kills, and everyone's got 300.
Yeah, but
gold.
then that's not my fault, right?
Yeah, unless you're trying to jinx them, WinteR. You got something against Execration?
No, why would I have something against them? I have
maybe
something against you because you make empty promises.
Empty oh jeez. You're like a nagging wife. You do have a homing missile working its way on the Toy
wife,
here.
You know?
Brutal, man. No mercy from WinteR Sama. Alright, charge. Primo on the way. Who's he going for here? Nobody. He's going to back off in the end. They will converge as 5. Already 2 tracks out.
He really doesn't want to die now. He's very close to his Midas. They take the tower and he'll get his Midas.
Meanwhile, Noki just wants his mech, and he's also close to that. They're going to push into this. Kind of dangerous
I'm not sure why
with
the Storm is here. The Storm should be at bottom. PL in middle, 1 lane, Storm 1 lane, and the rest is just doing their thing. I don't think Storm should be here.
Well, Storm is not going to be here for long if Primo keeps on diving. Toy just forced off the tower. They do deploy the Tombstone, and meanwhile TNT playing a split push game on the PL, trying to slow this one down a bit. The tracks are still out on 2 heroes. Haven't thrown a 3rd track out onto a new one, but
yeah, really trying to fight LD, and I'm not sure this will work out for them. Even if they are getting all the tracks, they are still fighting up against the Tombstone and Mech.
It is wearing off soon though. Tombstone about to end. As the Spirit Breaker charges away, 2 heroes TP out. iDeal don't find the pick.
Yeah, if
They also
if
don't
only
get the tower though.
if only the Storm was like pushing bottom, this would be super good for them.
He has been trying to come to fights a bit more, like he said. Boy, now to the top lane he goes. So far, the Spirit Breaker, he had a nice start early, but it feels like he keeps on charging PL, and every time there's just a doppelganger ready to completely counter that.
They need to, like, you know, at the top lane when they're pushing, they need to just dive behind and they get the Wyvern first. They need to charge in. They can't let the Wyvern keep spamming the blast, the Splinter Blast. It slows them down so much.
And once more, the cow chargeth. Aggressive dives again, and this time another cancel. But that's a Storm Bloodstone. 20 minutes. Not too shabby considering how that mid lane began, WinteR. And he's there in CS. He's only like 12, 15 down here. A little bit around 15 CS down, and net worth only down 600 gold. He's keeping up.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping up, but he could have been more. I feel he could have been more farm if he focused more on just split pushing instead of trying to come to fights. I don't think it's necessary. They are not like forced into situations where they need the Storm to fight as much, I feel.
Yeah. With the game being relatively slow here, oh, iDeal. Maybe looking for Primo. This is normally not the hero you initiate on, but he is kind of asking for it. He's up rather far. Support there, and they are finally going to connect. Primo getting pulled back in. It's a level 3 Vortex. This is enough for the second Remnant to proc. He charges away, but gets held in position by a curse. 3 heroes hitting him. Well placed. Now the hook. Chemo as well. Trapped within. There's the Clockwork just tanking the full Mystic Flare, but he survives. Chemo as well backing his way out of this one. The nuke's not enough. Mech will secure Chemo's survival, and KYT now forced out. Wyvern also going to drop here. It's a 2-for-1. They lose their Storm, and Noki just kind of waiting.
Just look at how difficult it is to fight into that. Even though they get a Spiritbreaker didn't do anything, he just got bursted down from full, but they still won the fight 4v5, and Bounty is gonna get
gets the courier, but giving up a tower in your Storm doesn't feel like it's worth it.
It's a consolation prize, I'd say.
They are farming the PL. That's the good news here for iDeal, is he does take the bottom tower and doesn't get the last hit. TNT not Diffusal Blade complete.
He's getting fun, but I'm not sure why they are trying so hard to fight though. I feel like they feel that they are strong. I actually don't think they're actually that strong at this stage, because they had a very good start. Even though with the lineup they have, having a good start doesn't mean that you are able to take a team fight against what XCT and Execration have right now.
Maybe they get a bit stronger here. Noki grabbing his mech.
They need time.
They need time and track
really
gold. I feel it's time and track gold. That's the recipe here.
Yeah,
for
but
iDeal.
they are not getting track goals like this. They need to split force Execration to go defend their lanes, and then they get the track kill from there.
This is the time to go on Burden here. He's blown the call down. He's low on mana, and he will end up dropping. Quick pick here for Toy. He gets his Bloodstone charges back up towards 7. Now engaging onto Primo, and since he's already charged in, he doesn't have an escape plan, and in fact, in danger, but now the mech arrives. Hook's there. He won't make it out. Another kill. The Blade Mail from KYT just quickly slaughters the Skywrath Mage. That's a fresh pickup, and
this is much better from them. They need to force Execration to move around before they take a fight. They take a fight when they're not grouped up. If Execration is already ready for the fight, it's very difficult for iDeal to win a fight. This is what they need to do.
That's a 3,000 gold swing, WinteR. One fight, and iDeal is leading. They are now winning the game mathematically at any rate. They'll take down an additional tower. TNT almost even now with the enemy Shadow Fiend, and it does feel like iDeal is just starting to find that pick them apart rhythm rather than necessarily forcing these larger 4v5, 3v4 type team fights.
Yeah, it's much better for them though to just make sure that they split them up and get one pick off. Even if they get one pick off at a time, it's just good with the track, as long as they don't lose anyone in return. And
so what's
they're getting good vision out on the map as well. So you were saying?
What do you think the game plan should be for Execration? Like, they have their 2 BKBs. They got the mech on the Shadow Fiend a while ago. Where do they go from here?
I think there's only one plan. They group up and not let Bounty or Clockwork and Storm get any pickoffs, and they just ram down the towers and get objectives like Roshan and whatnot.
They're walking into the pit having been scouted. Now scouted again.
They have a gem on the Undying, so this is like a really key point for them. Huh.
They're getting a little nervous though, and PL is split pushing. Execration backing way off. iDeal won't engage this.
They don't have they actually have a medallion, so they have a medallion. It's just that it's very hard to go into the rush pit against Clockwork and Storm right now.
Yeah, and also that split push pressure just deterring them a bit more as well.
I'm not sure though. I think they're strong enough with the BKB. They could have actually forced a fight there with the double. I think they could take the fight if they're 5 heroes. Oh, Gyro might get spotted here. Oh, that was close.
Does TP out the ball just a few seconds late. Doesn't actually break the smoke, so maybe they can still make something of this. No
yeah,
PM.
going back to my point, I think they're actually strong enough to take a fight right now with the BKB, regardless of where they take the fight. As long as they take the fight when 5 heroes are ready to fight, instead of 1 guy not there or 2 guys not being ready.
And ideally they get the jump with the Spirit Breaker. It seems like a lot of these fights iDeal have been the ones getting the initiation off.
Do they have a 4 staff yet? Probably not. Yeah, they don't have a 4 staff against the Clockwork, so that's worrisome.
Yeah, and the Skywrath can no longer just dump his ultimate on top of the cogs, because he just dies to the Blade Mail.
Yeah, it's kind of sad though when Skyrock is in this situation, and this ward is just paying off so heavily. It spots a smoke gank, and iDeal is just gonna position themselves and make sure they don't get caught, or maybe they're actually gonna smoke into Roche.
Oh, are they going into the pit now? This is so risky from Execration.
Yeah, but I think it's very good for them to force a fight. They have double. You buy BKBs on Gyro and SF, so you want to fight right now. You don't want to be speed pushing.
They're scouted. iDeal are going to look to contest this storm, balling down
They have
towards the river.
Tombstone on the high ground. They're very strong here.
All right, well, just waiting to see if they're good. They do get it off in the end. Now Toy forced back a bit. They can't really focus this down, and the Roche does begin to drop low. All the while, Undying popping the ultimate now, trying to deter any sort of aggression here, and they're hesitating. Storm wants the ball in. He goes for the Aegis Snatch, doesn't get the timing right. The curse comes out, but Toy's the one who gets silenced. Oh no, barely able to make his way up to the high ground. Gets pushed up there, in fact. The call down comes through. KYT wrecked in the pit, and now it's a headlong retreat. YO2 and TNT both backing out. BKB is worn off on the Gyro. And about to on the Shadow Fiend. Yeah, in fact, just expires now, but they charge in. There's no way to cancel this charge. They've already used the curse, and TNT in danger. Glimmered up, backing his way out. He tries to flap himself to freedom with Arctic Burn. In fact, re-engaging onto Primo. They've dove in deep for this one. Perhaps too deep. Oh, they get him with the last curse. Now the ball in from Toy. It's a long chase from Execration, and Toy, while he's silenced, will Yules to remove this one. Noki going for the track gold. He sees a little bit of extra cash in Fox's pockets. Toy backing up the Glimmer Cape, keeping him healthy. Really paying for itself here. Twice now it's saved to core. YO2, where's the raise? No, not enough damage. Nando probably going to lose his Aegis to this one. YO2 survives. They've lost 3 heroes, including the Aegis, so make it 2 actual deaths. TNT now focusing on the Tombstone. Nando may die a second time. This is track gold. This is extremely painful for Execration, and the call down comes through. But with the Blade Mail, it might even get him killed as well on the way out. The Gyrocopter on the run. Nando still retreating. Ball back in. Toy headbutts him and finishes him off. Only 474 for the kill streak, but you gotta figure the track gold is a lot more than that.
This guy has a gem. They want to get this kill.
They might be able to. Getting Doppelganger down to the low ground. They get the hook off. Now a follow-up Lance comes through. The gem as well. Chemo crumbles. The Aegis down. The core is all collapsing. The lone survivor here is really just Iwi on the Gyrocopter, WinteR. And suddenly, Phantom Lancer and Storm on top in terms of net worth.
Yeah, I told you they were very strong to take a fight, but it's just they overextended. After the Roche fight they took with double BKBs, they won that fight, but they just kept chasing, and Storm respawned because he had Bloodstone, so he respawned actually a lot faster than they expected, and they weren't keeping tabs on that, and he respawned and he just turned the fight around. So that was... They wasted all the advantage they got. It was the right play. I don't think it's a bad play for them. They did the right move to go Roshan and take that fight. It's just they didn't get back. They didn't get out when they need to.
Yeah, hey, it obviously worked. Like you said, they got the Aegis. They got, I think it was 2 kills away.
That was how strong I think they were. They could have just done that remember the first time they went into the Roche pit and they were hesitating when the tracks and the rockets came out. But I still think they're actually very strong even at that point.
Like you said, just a bit impatient, a bit cocky perhaps, and that's been a hallmark of a lot of the SEA teams, especially the ones outside Korea, that they tend to play with balls, but sometimes a little too much aggression.
Yeah, they just need someone to control, like the captain, the team captain. Playing with no fear is obviously a good thing, but you just need to know when you have to stop, you know, instead of just everyone charging in with no end. And no one retreats until you die. I don't know if you heard of this saying before, like in C, we always say that you just go in until you die, you don't get back. When you're playing a pub. The only time you back off is when you're dead.
You might have to question someone's manhood if they back, right? You know, it's...
But obviously that's not a good thing.
Hey, in pubs I think it's okay. It's good. You have to be over-aggressive to learn your limits. Like, if you play scared, like you're never going to know how far you can push
friends, it. You taunt your friends. No, you don't get back off. You don't wuss out. You just go in until you die.
Well, they are now much more defensive in their posture. You can see the Ancients getting warded. Again, trying to just ward block the camps and play the economy game. And Toy now up to 10 Bloodstone charges. He actually got his Bloodstone and immediately died. That was his first time with it, but he's been clawing his way back now. It's like 4 charges in a row. So many deaths.
And I like the use that he picked up as well. I think it's really good in this situation because the only way he dies this game is either by being charged and Nether Strike locked down by Spirit Breaker, or he gets silenced by the Skyraf. So the BKB is not actually that necessary. The use, if used correctly, is enough to save his life most of the time.
Track onto Nando as Execration do farm what remains of their Ancients. And iDeal go back to farming. Clockwork picks up another chainmail. We'll see. For now, just some plus armor.
Wait.
Maybe you're going to get that Solar Crest eventually here? What do you think? They already have the one medallion.
Yeah, they already have a medallion though. That's strange.
Yeah, that is a little weird. Maybe it's an Assault Cuirass rush. Normally, Clockwork doesn't really farm well enough for that.
That's like dreaming big, you know, but I like it.
Double the blade mail?
It's good to dream big.
Get a double
I think
blade mail?
maybe it's just another medallion though. Sometimes teams that they actually use, they want to get double medallions. I don't know. It's probably the case.
We'll see. For now, a casual chainmail. There are some big items coming out as they will complete an Eye of Scotty at Shadow Fiend right as this fight breaks out.
They didn't get the track.
No, they do too much damage. It's a first world problem, really. But I'm just looking at the PL illusions. These are starting to become a bigger and bigger issue.
The Gyro's dying to the illusion.
He's out of the fight, and they're going to commit with Toy. Big ball in. Looking to finish him off. No way to keep him alive here aside from the BKB. They get the bash. He may have to Bloodstone deny. Storm will fall in the end. Overextension. This time the other way as Nando Requiem bombs. Forces 4 back. The Tombstone as well, covering the retreat. And it seems in the end that everybody is going to have to back off. iDeal will be denied here, and that's 3 Bloodstone charges down for the Storm.
The dives are real. The Gyro did a very good job there by he didn't activate his BKB right away because he was trying to bait. I think he was trying to bait the Storm to try and kill him. He knew that the Undying and the Undying would be able to give him the necessary HP with the Soul Whip to survive, and he actually did because of that. And they were able to get the kill on the Storm because of that. So it was a really good play from the Gyro. I think he didn't pop his BKB as soon as he was in trouble. He just waited and waited to bait the Storm in.
Noki doing a bit of warding. Looks like he got scouted by the creep wave, so this may be very quickly dewarded though. Did they lose the gem?
Yeah, they lost the gem before that. I don't think they have one now. Yeah, they don't have one.
Yeah, there's one on the Dire Courier, so no gem to deward. No, it's also the Glimmer Cape and the Bounty Hunter. I mean, there's other Invis's abilities here that are very irritating. A bit annoying.
Another hook shot.
They hook in. They're going to commit here on Chemo. He can't really make his way out of this. The Battery Assault going to constantly interrupt any sort of charge attempt, and he will end up falling as the cooldown was used to counter-initiate this, bringing down first the Winter Wyvern, next the Clockwork will fall. A 2 for 1. Does force out a BKB charge at least, but Execration able to turn that one.
Yeah, but iDeal is still farming the PL like a lot, so I don't think they have to be worrying too much when it comes to late game. PL plus Storm is still, I think PL plus Storm is much stronger than, and they're on Dire side, right? So being able to access the Aegis is much easier than Execration. Even though Execration has SF and Gyro. SF and Gyro is still very strong, but late game with iDeal being on Dire, having PL and Storm, I think they are slightly stronger than that.
They are certainly getting towards that late game now. Storm Spear picking up an Orchid Toy.
And not to mention LD, Execration have 2 useless supports in late game, and iDeal, all the 5 heroes are actually useful when it comes to late game.
Well, Track Gold always great. We all know how amazing Wyvern can be with the curse.
Wyvern is like, okay, this hero is like a call sometimes if you cast his ultimate right.
Yeah, and if you imagine it like being used to turn the Gyrocopter against this team, that could be extremely devastating. Or the Shadow Fiend, for that matter.
Here we go. They are going to try and get a takeoff. The Bounty has finally brought the gem out, so he can actually do some dewarding here. Might find the Storm. Might find the Shadow Fiend. Okay, maybe not. They're actually back. He's just going to farm the lane and push the lane.
I'm not sure they can really get much done here. It's just a duo.
They're going to see the SF here with the ward on the jungle, in the jungle.
They are going to ball in, though. Toy with the gigantic leap. And it will be another kill. Has the Yule Scepter waiting and now using it while the Glimmer Cape's active. He balls back a bit further. The mech even keeps him alive. The Cog and then hook KYT to get him out of there. Nicely done. Little doink. Man.
That play was so important for them to make sure all his teammates get out safely.
Yeah, this Clockwork has been having a hell of a game so far. KYT really carrying, it feels like.
Sold his chainmail.
Okay, well, now he's a terrible player and we should probably report him.
I think he realized they already have a medallion, then he's like, okay, I don't need to go for a medallion anymore.
Yeah, that's you know, it happens. You get excited, and it is a pretty cheap, cost-effective item in general.
So
We're gonna
right
push.
now, the lineup with the PL is sieging, so that's good news for them.
FPL is farming up to 2,600 gold. Looks like he's building towards his Eye of Scotty. He gets charged, and easy doppelganger. Now the turnaround. Primo had the BKB. He uses it, but only just to run away. His first usage of that.
It's very difficult to get the charge on PL though, unless you have a Shadow Blade. Otherwise, it's just unless it's on cooldown, the doppelganger. Otherwise, it's most of the time you don't get the charge on the PL. It's very difficult.
It,
Unless
it,
there's no.
it does seem like that might be the biggest issue here
Yeah, they don't
for
have good
iDeal.
lockdown. I think you mentioned this during the draft or earlier that Execration don't have a very good way of locking down the PL. So the PL is able to do a lot of stuff. Like he can push very deep into the enemy territory as long as he knows his limits with the doppelganger plus the TP scroll. So it's very hard for Execration to deal with the rat here this game. And if iDeal gets this Aegis, they're in cruise control of the game.
They are quickly burning down the Roshan here. No real contest from Execration. And a lot of it goes back to that lost gem, WinteR. They're playing in the dark. And with the lights out, iDeal should get a free Rosh.
They're gonna give it to the Storm, more or less. Yeah, Storm with the items, yeah, you know what I mean. This Storm is just gonna be so hard to deal with. Right now, Execration can just hope. They need to group together and just push down a lane. If they just keep splitting apart and giving away kills for
Here comes the
bounce
clash. Here we go. Noki moving in to start it off. Primo going to get scouted out. They immediately jump in, pulling him back, and now the contest comes through. Tombstone to point. The cooldown's going to connect on 3-4 heroes. There's the Winter's Curse, though, turning Mr. Burden against Nando and preventing him from getting full value out of his BKB, but they charge onto 2, bringing down 1. Toy consistently balling his way out of this. And the team fight of Execration, again, works its magic, finding them a kill and keeping everybody else safe.
You see in that fight, iDeal with even with the initiation, they caught the Spirit Breaker first. They still lost the fight because they couldn't burst him. And with, like you mentioned, the Execration team fight is just much stronger with the cooldown and the Tombstone there. Even with the Aegis, iDeal is still not able to take a fight properly unless they burst someone down. They have to land the combinations perfectly though. The pull from the Storm into like hook shot, and the Wyvern stunning the other heroes behind, something like that.
Yeah, they did get a good curse that time. YO2
Yeah, it was a really good curse on 3 heroes.
wasting both BKBs there as they didn't really get to do a whole lot offensively.
Yeah, just think about what happened just now. They got a good curse and they had Aegis, but they still lost the fight. So it tells you a lot of the strength of the lineup alone.
Yeah, I guess the good news for iDeal is they still have the Aegis, so maybe look for an easier fight and then try to push in. We'll see what the plan is for them. But for now, Storm, he's going back for a Perseverance. Looks like he wants a Linken's, WinteR. Not going for the Hex or the Shivas.
The Lincolns is... I mean, it's...
Just for the Spirit Breaker, I guess?
Yeah, but it's he have the use, so it's, I think, very defensive. But I guess it'll be fine.
He's going to ball in, force out the BKB. Do they want to continue committing on this? Too low on mana. Gyro, no. Down to a 5-second BKB, though.
I don't think it's that necessary for him to get a Lincoln. I think it's very hard for Execration to kill him. As long as he plays it to his limits, don't overextend. Like, the better item would be probably getting a Hex, or even in this situation a Shivas, because Execration are dealing a lot of physical damage from the Gyro and the Shadow King.
Maybe it's that next level Octarine Core Storm.
No. No way, dude. There's no way. Octarine Core is not with Perseverance, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're dreaming of something, dude. Octarine Core is not with Perseverance.
I'm making sure you're awake, WinteR. I'm trolling you.
Yeah, right. I'm definitely awake. It's 8 PM, and you're definitely asleep. It's 5 AM for you.
I should be asleep, but SEA Dota, too entertaining. All right, Nokia is going to walk in right into a sentry, actually. He might end up going down to this 1, 2, 3. Beautiful raise combo, and that means the gem's down. Nando still has BKB. They hook in onto Primo, holding him back. Completely trapping on the cogs here, but it's Toy who ends up nearly going down. He'll Yules and then jumps. No, can't get away. The raise catches him on the ball out, looking for the Requiem Bomb. Will they time it right? Cooldown's there. No, not quite. A 5-0 Winter's Curse. Actually 4, but good enough for now. They will end up backing off as Fox was the one man not trapped there. He runs down the river. Mystic Flare, not able to trap Toy. And he will end up getting out. Man, these curses, though. YO2 really keeping his team in this game.
It's not getting them kills, it's just saving the fight for them at the very least. They're really underestimating what Execration have though. They need to be very careful taking a fight when Execration is ready. You know, 5 heroes are there, their lineup is very strong.
Well, Toy does live, but Age is down now, so he'll have to play a bit more defensively.
Yeah, and we were talking about getting
Lincoln.
getting the Hex.
Oh, the Hex, yeah.
The Hex was better than the Lincolns, or the Shivas would be better. But another item that could be good is like getting a Dagon. I think Dagon in this game could work wonders if he actually gets. It will allow him to get a very quick kill on the Scarab every time he sees him.
On the Storm, you mean? Dagon.
Yeah, on the Storm. Yeah, okay. Dagon would be a good viable option, I think, because you can always kill the Scarab from full right away every time you see him. So it's I think a pretty good pickup here compared to the Lincolns.
Now I'm curious. I'm gonna look. When is the last time that a Storm has gotten a Dagon in a serious?
It's not a bad item on Storm. What's wrong?
I don't think it's bad. It's just very uncommon. Let's see, Dagon.
I don't think it's that uncommon.
Though. It has been bought 3 times in 216 games in the latest patch, Winter.
So it's rare.
Yeah, it's a.
Okay, it's uncommon.
Let's see. Last patch was bought 0 times.
Okay.
6.82 0 times.
Dagon confirmed not a good item.
It's been bought 3 times in the last 4 patches, so you are truly next level, my friend. But I agree with you. I don't think it's a bad item. Maybe not what he goes for next, but
you can just message Blitz and ask him how much he likes to go Dagon on Storm.
No, Blitz is a tryhard. He needs a Storm MMR, so he would never go for a Dagon.
I think he likes to go Dagon though.
Does
he?
I
recall. Yeah, maybe you can ask him after.
Okay, we'll see. Hey man, I'm always a fan of a Dagon pickup.
the Red Taser, your favorite.
Yeah, I get to say Zap. Makes me happy. Well, we do have a pause. So for those of you joining us, I guess this is a good time to show you the bracket if you're not sure exactly what's going on. So it's 16 teams, single elimination, all matches BO3, and our grand finals is best of 5. Of course, this is the BTS SEA Cup. It's part of a larger tournament series called the BTS Series, guys. We're going to be running 18 of these cups over the next year, probably more like the next 10 months up until TI6, TI6. So, man, can't believe there's been so many internationals, Winter. But the winner of this match is going to move on to play either First Departure or Banana. So we'll have 2 more days of these round of 16 games, and then we'll move ahead into the round of 8. And the winners of those round of 8 games, they're in the money, my friend. They're guaranteed at least $1,000 each.
Thank you, my friend, for doing helping C with some events. I can only thank you on behalf of all the C community.
Oh, it's our pleasure. BTS we got our beginnings in C, you know. It warms the cockles of our hearts to do more content, and I hope we get to do more. I hope the teams enjoy these.
So on that note, when are you coming to C?
God damn it, Winter! If you keep it up, never. Well, maybe I'll be there in October, buddy. Maybe I'll be there in October.
October?
Yeah.
Not November?
Well, the major's in Europe, right? So.
Okay, I thought you're coming over.
Are you gonna be at the major, Winter? Did Ice Frog invite you?
I'm not telling you. It's a secret.
What's your problem, dude? Wow, so much attitude from my boy Winter.
It's a trick question, dude. You're asking me tricky questions.
All right, we have the unpause. We have the cue to resume here. And for those of you just joining us or kind of trickling in, It's been a really back and forth game, as you can see from the graph, up and down, but slowly and surely, the track gold is beginning to eke out a bit of an advantage here for iDeal. Not an overwhelming one, at least not yet.
So right now, PL has Skadi and Mentor diffuser. I think if this continues, he just needs. I think he might need to get a Boots of Travel soon. I feel Boots of Travel would be a nice next item for him. He just needs to make sure that he can always go back. Because if he gets the next item right now, which is item slot, then he wouldn't have a slot for TP unless he sells the drum.
Yeah, he's got the gold for it, but he's not buying one just yet. Maybe he'll sell the drums and just carry a TP or something.
Yeah, maybe. But I think Boost of Travel is a nice pickup here because you're going to get it eventually. You're not going to finish. If you're iDeal now, you're not going to finish the game anytime soon. You are going to drag the game long. So Boost of Travel is definitely a good pickup in this situation.
TNT muscling down the creep wave mid, and we'll finish it off. As Toy moves through the Radiant jungle, scouting. Looks like he is going to save up some gold here. If he wants that Linken's, he's pretty close to it now. But maybe he'll just keep the Perseverance and disassemble it and WinteR and just go for the Hex that you talked about.
I think Hex is actually one of the best options. Even though I like the Dagon, but I think Hex is always the best option in late game. It allows you to get pickoffs and it's very good against BKB heroes, which is in general 5-second BKBs would mean that the Hex would be very good in late game. So I think Hex, you can almost never go wrong if you get a Hex late game.
Well, if he wants a Dagon, he's not. He needs to look at the recipe a little more closely. That's what I've got to say to Toy here.
It's not getting a Dagon. It's definitely like all the big items, Shivas, Hex, any sort of items along those lines.
Yeah, I mean you can't argue with those. Like, really, what do they have for control? Unless Gyro gets an Abyssal later on, it's just the Spirit Breaker.
I think they need a Lotus Orb though. Yeah, I think Spirit Breaker will probably get one. Lotus Orb is very good this game.
Why? Can you expand on that a little bit?
It's good versus the track, and you can at some point use it to deal with the Storm Initiation. Like he jumps in and you can just cast the Orb on the guy, the Lotus Orb on the Gyro presumably, or the SF.
Oh, just really for the Purge effect, you mean?
Yeah, the Purge effect.
It removes
very
Hex
good.
then, okay.
Yeah, it removes the Hex, so it's a very good way of dealing with... I assume the Storm will get a Hex at some point unless he decides not to go for the Hex entirely. I'll be really surprised.
You know, it's funny because like that support Diffusal Blade build that Puppy used to do to counter Hex, like it's dead. There's no reason to do that anymore.
It's like a very good idea though, and the game should have had something that does that.
Yeah, but now they have Greaves as well, so there's like two just better support items that also give you the Purge.
Yeah, the thing is the Greaves only purge yourself, so you don't purge your teammate.
That's true.
The Lotus Orb in this game is very good for the Spirit Breaker to save the Gyro or the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, iDeal for now are sitting back. Roshan.
They still don't have a 4-star. I'm actually very worried. Playing without a 4-star against Spotwork late game with Aghanim Scepter is not a good idea at all.
I mean, their supports are just very poor is the biggest issue, I think. Like, they're dying and they don't have track gold.
It's not only that though, I think the Ghost Scepter on the Skyraft could be actually... It's better to get a 4-star, yeah, on the Skyraft. At least they get one. I can't really argue so much on the Solar Crest on the Undying. I think it's a very good item. So, but definitely the 4-star would be better than the Ghost Scepter.
iDeal sitting very far back here, tucked near the high ground. Is Execration smoked up, but the timing isn't quite right. Roshan not actually out yet, so they won't be able to sneak it, and they don't find a kill either. They'll have to back up in the end as PL completes an MKB. Worried about that Shadow Fiend Butterfly. He will get some True Strike. Looks like it's going to be a very aggressive PL build from here on out.
Okay, so let's see. What's next for the PL after this? He's going to get Boost of Travel, I assume. After this, since he did... Yeah, Boost of Travel, then Abyssal. What else is actually good for him? Yeah, I guess
Butterfly.
I guess Abyssal would be the best.
Butterfly is also pretty good, but I feel like he's probably not dying unless the fights go terribly wrong anyway.
Yeah, I think Abyssal would actually give him more power to solo kill, and that's much more important on the PL. Because you're going to be generally speed pushing in the late game. You want to make sure that when you force someone to TP to your lane, you have the power to actually solo kill the guy. So Abyssal will actually give him that.
iDeal is going to continue to sit back here, and it seems like they're just waiting for the Rosh at this point, constantly shooting the rockets out. Execration, do they have a smoke available now is the question. No, oh, there you go. That's their last smoke for 3 minutes, WinteR, and what do you
Roshan?
know? Poor guys, timing's not
Maybe
right.
Roshan?
1 minute too soon.
Oh, this is like playing Russian roulette, you know, in a tense situation. You don't get it. Either you get it or you don't get it.
Yeah, and so much counts on so much relies on these smokes, really, but maybe they'll get a kill. There's something to give them a little
It's
map
hard though
control.
on this position unless iDeal walk into it.
This is a
Like
good spot to contest.
this is the sort of situation where you are so thankful that you have all these tier 2 towers alive, you know. Otherwise the enemy can just smoke gang deep into your base and just get a freebie.
And the jungle as well. They can just come right through the mid lane and wrap around behind you.
Yeah, going back to the Abyssal just now, I just want to tell you something interesting from Dota 1 days. If you get a basher on an illusion based hero, you can get perma bashed by the illusions. The illusions don't get to bash you, but if you get bashed by the real hero and the illusions proc the bash, it actually prolongs the
It
bash
extends
duration.
it. Yeah, but it also I think it also worked the other way where if you got a fake bash, then like any other bashes while the fake bash was still affecting them would not go through from the main hero, if I remember correctly.
Glad it doesn't work anymore in Dota 3. Oh, here comes the hook! He's gonna steal!
Well, while we're talking about bashes, there's a brilliant play by KYT. Snags the Aegis. So all the while, though, the split push is going here for Toy. He's going to instantly silence Lumik on the TP, and he's got the cheese here. May need to pop it just to survive. Is he going to cheese? He will cheese. I think Toy may still have enough to kill him. He's focusing rain tracks during this time as another hook comes flying out, trapping Primo, who's in the cogs, not where he wants to be. They're still getting the kills. They bring down Chemo. They're taking away to Brax here, iDeal are, and all the while galloping away as the Spirit Breaker trying to make it out, but iDeal, well, not in addition to snagging that Aegis, they're going to get the more important objectives here now. Taking down an additional hero, 2 supports down, and it is starting to feel like what you said is true, WinteR. These supports just don't offer much at this stage of the game. Burden will engage TNT again, picking off the backliners, now bringing down the Spirit Breaker solo. And as the BKB of the Gyrocopter ends, the Yules will come out, now pulling him back, even though he gets off the cooldown. It's not much damage at this stage. 4 dead, about to be 5. It's a wipe for iDeal. It starts with the brilliance of KYT. It ends with the base in shambles. There's only 2 buybacks here. At any moment, this just may be the game. There's the buyback from Shadowfiend.
Not having a 4-star there, LD was so crucial. They couldn't save anyone, and they couldn't get out. So they lost their Rex.
2 lanes of racks. No buybacks on the key heroes aside from Shadowfiend, but he really can't do it alone.
GG. They're gonna lose all their Rex here.
iDeal mega creeps. And with this, Execration came into this match maybe as a bit of favorites, but iDeal looking to get their revenge. I think Execration did beat them the last time they faced off in the series very recently. But for now, Nando, hold trap. This should be potentially the last takedown of the Shadowfiend, but he is tanky, courtesy of the butterfly and lifesteal. Mega creeps are now officially out. Just the tombstone to guard the base. They'll have one last clash, and then the GG comes out. Chemo calls it. Execration trailing 0-1 in the best of 3 now.
Yeah, this is just a very good example of like the difference in lineups. Execration is much stronger early game, and when it comes to a point where it's 40 minutes, you don't have 2 useful supports, and you don't have 4 stars, you're basically counting on only 3 heroes to win the game. Whereas iDeal, all 5 heroes are very useful in this type of situation and this type of game. So it's just very hard for